Welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Tom Tombika Unplugged podcast. We have this every Saturday, let's say Saturdays and sometimes Sundays. So on a regular weekend, we have an episode of the podcast discussing diverse views of subjects related to intellectual property, new and emerging technologies, trade, import, export, um, dating and intersexual dynamics, global politics, local Liberian politics, and a lot of other interesting topics that we discuss on this podcast. You can also subscribe to our page to have exclusive content. That means if you are a subscriber, you have several benefits. You can have a direct call with me if you have issues that you want to have direct consultation on. If you have an academic paper that you are doing, maybe a research paper or thesis paper that you are writing as an undergraduate or a master student, we can help you in that direction. We provide consultancy services in that direction. From a professional career perspective, if you are doing a presentation, a technical brief, um, a research paper, you're doing a market research, you're doing anything related to international trade, regulations, be it the World Trade Organization, whether you are residing in a member country that is a member of the World Trade Organization, and there are specific rules and regulations that you require if you want to import or export goods, services, and products across the border, but you have no idea. Take, for example, you are living in Liberia and you want to import goods from Switzerland, from France, uh, from Sweden, or from the United States, and you need to know some of the rules, the policy in place, the laws, the regulation in terms of import and export merchandising. You can get in contact with us. This is where we have our expertise. We have served in this capacity for over a decade, and so we can provide the necessary uh, skill set that's required and technical expertise in that direction. So don't hesitate to contact us or to subscribe to contact us directly via Messenger, or if you have my contact, WhatsApp or call, don't hesitate to contact us. But more importantly, if you subscribe to my page, my Facebook page, or be it YouTube, or be it Rumble, any of my channel you subscribe to, you have exclusive access to all the contents there, contents that are beyond the subscription, contents that are beyond the subscription, so that if you are a subscriber, then you have access to all these contents, the one that is accessible on my page and the one that is behind the paywall. You have exclusive access to it, and you can arrange a one-on-one direct call with me. We can have a Zoom meeting, a direct call on WhatsApp, a direct call on Messenger, and we can discuss the details of what your request is. If you are a guy out there, you want to understand uh, what my journey is in terms of fitness, being physically and mentally fit, in terms of my experiences I've had dating and intersexual dynamics, and you have some questions and concerns, you can contact us in all those capacity. We help you academically with research paper, research writing thesis from your undergraduate and your master, professionally We do presentations for you. We do market research, technical brief, project proposal. We write project proposal. And any presentation you are, maybe you have a presentation to do, we can help you in that direction, and we can provide coaching as well as consultancy services for all these capacity. Don't hesitate to contact us. Subscribe if you want to get a maximum benefit. Because if you subscribe, you have access to all these services depending on the request. You have access to first contact us and have direct interaction. And based on your specific needs, then we can be able to address your specific needs and have a negotiation on what it entails. Don't be afraid to contact or don't be afraid to subscribe. If you have any technical request that you want to get, want to be want to have addressed or you want to resolve, contact us. We can help you in that direction. But today's episode will be about the World Intellectual Property Innovation Index for 2024. So we have been away for a while, specifically not discussing intellectual property issues or international trade or patent, trademark registration, copyright registration. We have moved away from intellectual property for quite a while, but we are back now. And today I want to give you a gist on what is unfolding at the World Intellectual Property Organization with regards to the Global Innovation Index that the World Intellectual Property Organization on an annual basis organizes to do a broad perspective on developing economies and innovative economies. So on an annual basis, this Global Innovation Index is done, ranking the top 10 innovative economies in the world. So many 10 countries that is doing very best in terms of innovation, whether through services they are being provided, the economic infrastructure is driven by innovation. The fundamentals of providing the effective and efficient services is on the basis of being very innovative. So we are going to go through WIPO, the World Intellectual Property Organization Innovative Index for 2024. Today we will not stay long on this podcast, but we have an obligation to give you some information, education, as well as entertainment here. So let's go into this innovation index for 2024 so you can see the top 10 ranked nations or innovative economies in the world. Go to the video there. Video are very short, but let's go through the first video, just an overview on what the innovative index is all about. me go ahead and share our today's episode instead of you can have no following. Share this episode instead of books. You are the exact no following. Have no view is complete.
Distinguished guests, it's really a pleasure and a privilege for me to launch
Okay, that's enough. So this video is about WIPO innovative index on an annual basis, ranking all the innovative nations in the world. Specifically, WIPO member given the top 10 innovative economies. So the WIPO Innovative Index is a ranking of the top 10 most innovative nations in the world. Let's go to the first video. And so this is the ranking. This is the ranking for 2024.
Innovation improves our daily lives and fuels economic growth, but some innovation-related measurements softened significantly in 2020.
Okay, so all types of innovation, whether it be agro-innovation, technology-related innovation, environmental innovation, all types of innovation.
According to the new edition of WIPO's Global Innovation Index, global R&D growth slowed to 3%.
So research and development, global R&D, slowed to 3%. So it dropped down to 3% as compared to the previous year, which is 2023.
Venture capital investments fell by 39%.
Venture capital was 39%.
And demand for international patent filings dipped, marking a first drop since 2009. But there is
patent registration as well dipped.
Good news. Technological progress remains strong, especially in health, genomics, robotics.
Okay, so these are the areas that initially started the report with all the negative areas the areas that have negative consequences with regards to innovation, and then they proceeded with the positives.
In health.
So health, there's improvement in health innovation, there's improvement in health hospitals, all the innovative technology, medicines, or everything. Genomics is the study of genes and the economic layers around it.
Genomics, robotics,
connectivity, be Wi-Fi, be internet, fiber optic,
activity, and energy.
energy is the environment, the power grid, the power grid, all the environmental energy that we use, the dams and all of that.
Innovation is still having a positive impact on society and the economy, with growth across indicators in the Global Innovation Index, the GII.
Automotive.
Each year, the GII ranks economies around the world per their innovative activity. This year, the world's most innovative economies are Switzerland,
Switzerland, number one. Switzerland. In 2023, I think Switzerland was number one or number two. I think it was number two on the list. So 2024, Switzerland is the most innovative economy in the world is Switzerland, number one.
Sweden,
Number two is Sweden, followed by Sweden. Wow, all of the countries I traveled to. Sweden is number two.
the United States,
USA. Uncle Sam is number three. Uncle Sam is number three. Uncle Sam most often and always lead all the charts. At least number three is not that bad.
Singapore, and the
Singapore. Yeah, a very innovative country now, very prosperous. There are a lot of things around in Singapore. A very inspiring country to follow, especially for underdeveloped and developing countries to follow and pursue their path of development. Singapore.
the United Kingdom.
5 is UK. UK number 5. Demand them. What's that block?
At 11, China is
China. China is China for all of the top 10. Go to the 11. I think the guys are having the most innovative technologies because China. It's not surprising for me to see the United States the 3rd, but it's kind of surprising for me to see China the 11th. Not even in the 10th, the top 10. At 11 is China on the
still
middle.
the only middle income.
Still having got any
Top
middle
30.
income politics, middle income. You get all that money and population of wealth, they say middle income.
Though India, Indonesia, Iran,
India, Indonesia, and Iran.
and the Philippines, Turkey, Vietnam, and Morocco are climbing the ranks fast.
Yeah,
Rwanda lead among the low-income
Rwanda and
economies.
Morocco.
The 2024 GII shows how innovative new social entrepreneurship ventures are addressing issues like poverty, environmental sustainability, and social injustice worldwide in new and interesting ways. Globally, there are 10 to 11 million social enterprises and up to 30 million social entrepreneurs, contributing around $2 trillion USD to global
That's a lot.
GDP. The GII 2024 provides policy recommendations on how to create an environment where enterprises, individuals, public research institutes, and even social enterprises can thrive and drive sustainable development. Global innovation is resilient but is facing challenges. WIPO's Global Innovation Index and other programs play an important role in monitoring and supporting innovation ecosystems worldwide, helping us navigate the future.
So that's WIPO.
Innovation
Global Innovation Index.
improves our data.
Let's go it one more time and then we can find another WIPO related video to watch. And then after that, we can call that a day. Today, our episode will not be that long because we just want to highlight the top 10 innovative economies in the world.
Daily lives and fuels economic growth. But some innovation-related measurements softened significantly in 2023, according to the new edition of WIPO's Global Innovation Index. Global R&D growth slowed to 3%. Venture capital investments fell by 39%, and demand for international patent filings dipped, marking a first drop since 2009. But there is good news. technological progress remains strong, especially in health, genomics, robotics, connectivity, and energy. Innovation is still having a positive impact on society and the economy, with growth across indicators in the Global Innovation Index, the GII. Each year, the GII ranks economies around the world per their innovative activity. This year, the world's most innovative economies are Switzerland, Sweden, the United States, Singapore, and the United Kingdom. At 11, China is still the only middle-income economy in the top 30, though India, Indonesia, Iran, the Philippines, Turkey, Vietnam, and Morocco are climbing the ranks fast. Rwanda leads among the low-income economies. The 2024 GII shows how innovative new social entrepreneurship ventures are addressing issues like poverty, environmental sustainability, and social injustice worldwide in new and interesting ways. Globally, there are 10 to 11 million social enterprises and up to 30 million social entrepreneurs, contributing around $2 trillion to global GDP. The GII 2024 provides policy recommendations on how to create an environment where enterprises, individuals, public research institutes, and even social enterprises can thrive and drive sustainable development. Global innovation is resilient but is facing challenges. WIPO's Global Innovation Index and other programs play an important role in monitoring and supporting innovation ecosystems worldwide, helping us navigate the future.
So that's the World Intellectual Property Global Innovation Index that observes and ranks the top 10 innovative economies in the world. So that's the video. Switzerland is number 1, number 2, Sweden, number 3, the United States of America, and the rest follow. China at number 11, the African countries, we have Morocco and Rwanda. So let's find another video. Let me see another video here. Okay.
Investments in innovation are thriving, and people around the world are creating new technologies, new services, and better ways of doing things. They are pushing to make the world better for all of us. But will this continue, or has the COVID-19 pandemic, geopolitical upheaval, and other recent challenges slowed investments in innovation, thus slowing humanity's progress? The 2022 edition of WIPO's Global Innovation Index, or GII, addresses this urgent question. Interestingly, the GII shows that innovation investments thrived during the first year of the COVID-19 pandemic and boomed in 2021. Investments in global R&D in 2020 grew at a rate of 3.3%, despite the pandemic-induced economic downturn, avoiding a fall as was the case in the previous recessions. Top corporate R&D spenders are the most innovative firms worldwide. They increased R&D expenditures by nearly 10% in 2021, which is higher than pre-pandemic growth. This increase was primarily driven by 3 sectors: information technology and software, pharmaceuticals and biotechnology, and construction and industrial metals. Sectors that suffered in 2020, such as automobiles, industrial engineering, transportation and travel, generally experienced a return to R&D growth in 2021. Demand for intellectual property, including patents, trademarks and designs, grew during the global pandemic in both 2020 and 2021. The biggest boom, however, was in global venture capital, with VC deals growing by nearly 50% in 2021, reaching nearly 20,000 transactions. VC is increasingly global, with deals in Latin America and the Caribbean doubling, and activity in Africa up nearly 100%. These 2 regions witnessed the strongest VC growth. While the VC outlook for 2022 is more sober, data for the first quarter of 2022 still shows healthy VC growth rates. The GII also ranks the innovation performance of 132 economies, highlighting their innovation strengths and areas for improvement. Switzerland, for the 12th year in a row, ranks first in 2022. The United States is second, followed by Sweden, the United Kingdom and the Netherlands. China edges toward the top 10, ranking 11th. It remains the only middle-income economy in the GII top 30. Canada makes a comeback into the top 15, rising one position. Turkey and India enter the top 40 for the first time, at 37th and 40th respectively. The geography of innovation is continuing to shift towards Asia. 2 Asian economies are in the top 10, with the Republic of Korea in the 6th position and Singapore rising to number 7. 5 Asian countries have seen significant progress in their innovation ranking over the past 10 years: China, India, Vietnam, Iran and the Philippines. The top economies in Northern Africa and Western Asia region are Israel, the United Arab Emirates and Turkey. The Latin America and Caribbean region is led by Chile, Brazil, which is a newcomer in the region's top 3 economies, and Mexico. The Sub-Saharan Africa region is led by South Africa, Botswana and Kenya. This year, 26 countries outperform on innovation relative to their development, including newcomers Indonesia, Uzbekistan and Pakistan. These GII innovation outperformers include 8 from Sub-Saharan Africa, with Kenya, Rwanda and Mozambique topping the list. In Latin America and the Caribbean, Brazil, Peru and Jamaica overperform relative to their level of development. The question of how innovation will affect our well-being is key to our future. Will major innovations emerge to change our lives for the better? Today, productivity growth, a common metric used to track future standards of living, is at its lowest level ever. We have experienced a period of great stagnation for a number of decades, during which innovation has not spurred productivity growth that improves welfare. So, what will the future hold? We are on the cusp of a new innovation-driven boom, the GII shows. 2 powerful innovation waves will soon unfold, and, if sustained, they will flourish in years to come. First, a new digital age wave will build on recent progress in information technologies. It will gain tremendous strength. The digital age wave has the potential to trigger pronounced productivity boosts for all economic sectors and all walks of life. This is thanks to supercomputing, the Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence. Digital age tools such as quantum computers, improved big data analytics, and better sensors can lead to breakthrough inventions in all scientific fields. Second, a new deep science innovation wave is forming. It builds on scientific breakthroughs in biotechnologies, biochemistry, nanotechnologies, and new materials created since the turn of the 21st century. On this basis, new deep science-based innovations are emerging in 4 fields: life science and health, agri-food innovation, such as smart fertilizers, energy and clean technology, and transport, as in urban air mobility startups. The positive effects of these 2 upcoming innovation waves will take a long time to materialize, and they face many hurdles, particularly in the area of adoption and diffusion. Government policy has a key role in enabling these innovations. This includes funding research, facilitating technology transfer, addressing inequalities of innovation access at all levels, and closing skill gaps in the fields of data science, IT, and natural science research. On balance, if adoption of new deep ICT and science innovations can ramp up quickly, innovation-driven productivity growth and its effects on our well-being will be high. Will this happen? The signs are optimistic, but only the near future will tell.
Today, we are talking to one of the founders of Africa's trailblazing metaverse, Mick Mann, the co-founder and CEO of Africa Rare. Africa Rare has been dubbed as Africa's first metaverse project, utilizing the power of virtual reality and blockchain technology to support the economics of digital art and innovation. Mick describes himself as a futurist and exponential technologist with over 23 years of expertise in this area. He believes in the power of frontier technologies in addressing some of the most pressing global issues. Hey, Heinrich, so good to have you here with us. Thank you for joining.
Thanks so much for having me. Great to be here with you in the virtual space.
Great. So, Mick, my first question is about your metaverse. It's truly a unique experience. I have to confess, I tried it myself and I loved it a lot. How did you come up with this idea? And what are the elements of the metaverse and what it has to offer?
Sure. So, pretty much for us, we've been in advertising for the last 25 years. And then in 2015, we were exposed to this incredible university called Singularity University out of Silicon Valley, really that had the focus on how do you empower, inspire, and upskill leaders and future leaders so that they can go out and make a positive impact in the world. We managed to secure the license for Africa and have been running that since 2015. And by working with Singularity University, we really dived into these different exponential technologies. We bought our own robots, 3D printers. We started, creating our own virtual reality studio and getting into blockchain technology. And then in 2020, when COVID came around, our agency, Man-Made Business, had over 60 live events cancelled because of COVID. So we thought, how can we still bring people together in a new, unique way online, while we have to be apart? And we started creating these virtual reality experiences for brands, creating these campaigns that could bring people together in a shared way in a virtual setting. And then in 2021, there was this incredible growth in this concept of NFTs, and that came around. And that amazing application of technology was a perfect opportunity for us to take our virtual reality skills and merge them and converge them with our blockchain skills and create Africa Rare. And we've got a very strong focus on Africa and communities worldwide. We have this bold vision to serve over 1 billion people and break barriers by leveraging this power of AI mixed reality. And it's been an exciting journey so far. And the next most exciting thing happening for us is that we've just announced our launch date for our Ubuntu token, which is a utility token of Africa Rare Ubuntu Land. And we've been waiting for this moment for almost 2 years now.
So you've already mentioned about your global vision to impact the African continent and also the whole world. I would like to know what are some of the concrete projects you are running with Africa Rare on the ground for the local communities and societies in Africa and beyond.
We really believe that if we can upskill and empower the people of Africa and the continent, there's a great opportunity to be a leader in the future. Other initiatives that we're doing, we've actually built into our tokenomics model for the Ubuntu token that every time we charge any transaction fees on the platform, 10% of our fees will go towards our charities pool, which initially is going towards My Rishi Institute to help people get through tertiary education in Johannesburg and across Africa. Actually, they've just opened up in some African countries, as well as Innovation Africa to provide clean drinking water. And that's an ongoing process throughout time. Once the token is launched, so we'll be constantly giving back to various initiatives that ultimately will be decided and voted upon by the community in the future.
Wow. This is so exciting. Thank you for sharing these great initiatives. You've already mentioned a little bit about artificial intelligence because everyone is talking about it nowadays. This is the time of ChatGPT and other generative AI models. It's on everyone's mind. And you've already mentioned that you are integrating artificial intelligence tools in the metaverse to make the experience more immersive and to customize some of the products. So could you please tell us a little bit more? How do you use artificial intelligence to create some of the experiences maybe in your platform?
Sure. So we're fortunate enough that through our Singularity network, we've got this incredible artificial intelligence board of advisors that come from a lot of our faculty from Singularity, and they've been advising us on how do we best use and what are the strategies you need to employ when bringing in an AR strategy. And we use it to help with coding now, just in terms of the developers in the back end. We use it for a lot of checks and bug checking and that sort of thing. We've also built in our own AR chatbot called Matwetwe that is live currently in Ubuntu land. So you can go to any experience or anywhere in Ubuntu land, go to the chat and go at Matwetwe and ask Matwetwe anything about any landowner or anything about Africa Rare. And Matwetwe will have the answers for you. So that we've already deployed Matwetwe in Ubuntu land. And now what we're doing is we're looking at how do we bring multiple chatbots into Ubuntu land, and it doesn't only have to be a chatbot that we create and develop. So what we've been designing and are almost at completion is our AR builder, where it's almost like Build-A-Bear, except now you're building your own AR avatar in Ubuntu land.
We know that intellectual property is a very strong tool to protect your business assets, to attract investment, and to create a strong brand. I would like to know, so how do you use intellectual property to protect your assets in the metaverse?
Well, we have trademarked our brands and things like that. And for us, it's really, we built a platform that is an open metaverse, and that all users that join the platform can enjoy the different features within the platform. For us, it's really important that the brands that come into Ubuntu land own their own IP and continue to own their own IP and benefit off that IP, as well as the individuals like the artists or anyone setting up a small shop. They maintain all of their IP. So it's quite a tricky dance, but and it's quite, as I said, it's quite new in the metaverse, and I think we're going to see a number of things play out with IP specifically in the next couple of years as these environments continue to grow.
So you have already shared the great news about the launch of Ubuntu Token. Congratulations. So what to expect from Africa Rare and you, MakeMan, in 2024?
We've launched an AR course, which is the fundamentals for AR course in the metaverse. I forgot to mention that. And we've got about 6 or 7 other courses in development that will be launched on the platform. So what's really great about this is it's self-led learning. These are free to take courses, and you only pay for the course if you pass and you want the accreditation, you want the certificate or the proof of the skill set. The world is a bit uncertain at the moment, and there are so many polarized positions that for us, it's about trying to build unity and positivity in the world and in Africa and for the people of Africa.
Thank you so much. And my last question, and maybe the most difficult one, because it's difficult to predict future. So let's say in 5-10 years, how do you imagine Africa Rare, which direction it goes? What is the vision in long term?
Okay, yeah, so I mean, for us, it's so important that people are making their living on the platform. They are interacting on a daily basis. Ubuntu becomes ubiquitous within Africa Rare and the globe, and we're adding value to people's lives. I think that's really what it's about, and making sure that Africa is one of the leading continents globally, and interacting with the globe and competing on a global scale to make a positive impact and live in the world we all want to live in.
Wow, thank you so much, Nick. It was really so powerful. Thank you for this conversation. We came to an end of our interview, so I'd just like to thank you for your time. It was nice talking to you, and hopefully we'll see each other in the world of the metaverse and its potential.
Today, we are in conversation with Mr. Alake, who is the Honorable Commissioner for Innovation, Science and Technology for Lagos State in Nigeria. With more than 21 million inhabitants, Lagos is Africa's most populous city and home to nearly 90% of Nigeria's startups. Mr. Alake is the main policy leader responsible in Lagos for driving innovation and entrepreneurship to ever greater levels, which will accelerate Lagos's progress towards becoming an innovation hub. Let's dive into Mr. Aleke's insights on the prevailing trends and opportunities in Lagos. Welcome, Mr. Alake, and many thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
For those listeners who haven't been to Lagos, it's a very thriving and bustling entrepreneurial place. Could you just give us a sense of this?
Lagos is the commercial nerve center. It is the capital of economic activity in Lagos, has the headquarters of various industries from manufacturing to telecoms, banking and finance, and of course, technology and innovation. And so Lagos State is a huge hub for economic activity in Nigeria. About 25% of the GDP of Nigeria resides in Lagos. And so things like having a huge market is one of the big advantages that Lagos offers to would-be entrepreneurs that are able to create new ideas, that are able to create new products and services. So Lagos offers that huge market, that huge purchasing power. Its GDP per capita is about 3 times the national average. And so there are a lot of elements that make Lagos State a huge, thriving economic and innovation capital on the sub-Saharan African continent.
Yeah, thank you very much. And what would be some of the 2 to 3 most recent, startups that you've met or ideas, that you've seen? Again, I mean, give us a sense of your day-to-day innovation thrive.
So a number of innovation companies have come out of Lagos. You mentioned correctly earlier, about 90% of innovation activity in Nigeria happens in Lagos. And so when you look at the fintech industry, Lagos has a very, very huge fintech sector. Fintech represents about 40 to 45% of the startup ecosystem in Lagos, and by extension, Nigeria. So fintech is a huge deliverer of services across Lagos and across Nigeria. Agricultural tech is also a huge growing sector, as well as e-commerce, retail is also the services sector. The retail services sector is also a huge growing area. And so when you hear companies like Flutterwave, that is now a Pan-African fintech unicorn that started in Lagos and is now delivering services across the African continent. This company is a testament to the ingenuity, the creativity, and the scale that the Lagos environment can offer to entrepreneurs and to would-be innovation enthusiasts to be able to grow their businesses. When you look at companies like OmniBiz in the retail and logistics space that are now growing in Africa, this is another company that we've seen that has grown right here from Lagos. And when you look at companies like InterSwitch, OPay, also in fintech, these are companies that some of them have passed the $1 billion mark, have scaled successfully, were all started in Lagos. And the entrepreneurial activity and all of the factors that Lagos brings to offer is the reason why a lot of these companies are successful.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Now, I have been told you want to go further and that you have developed a vision for the Lagos innovation system. Do you want to tell us the 2 to 3 main points or your main plans for the near future?
Absolutely. We have innovation and technology master plan that we formulated some time ago that seeks to deliver on doubling the rate of innovation in Lagos. And this innovation and technology master plan rests on multiple pillars. from an infrastructure pillar where you look at providing the enabling infrastructure, whether it is internet access, infrastructure deployment, fiber optic cables, rapid prototyping labs, things that would enable entrepreneurs and creators to start their business. That infrastructure is very important. And over the past 36 months, we have deployed over 2,700 kilometers of fiber optic cable across Lagos State, connecting different points of interest from schools to hospitals to government buildings. The infrastructure is very, very important for democratization and access to resources for entrepreneurs. And so that's a major pillar of our vision. Another major pillar is talent and funding. When we realize that for innovation to thrive, you must have a robust talent base. And so we have intervened in training digital skills across the market. Our sister agency, the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, has implemented training for over 35,000 beneficiaries in digital skills across different sectors of the economy. They've also done quite a bit of funding for small businesses particularly in technology and innovation. The funding pillar is quite interesting because, I mentioned earlier that it's important that we are able to help de-risk the innovation process at the very bottom. And so through our Lagos State Science Research and Innovation Council, this is a council that is responsible for managing the Innovation Fund of Lagos State. We've been able to fund about 60 successful startups over the past 24 months in areas such as fintech, agri-tech, construction tech, circular economy, and environmental science. And we've also funded about 70 R&D initiatives over the past 24 months as well. And so for us, funding is from the perspective of de-risking the initial innovation process. A lot of our entrepreneurs and beneficiaries might not have had access to funding at the initial stage if we weren't doing some of that work. And some of them have gone on to raise bigger checks at the Series A and at the Series B level.
Now, you mentioned the Global Innovation Index earlier. Obviously, in the index, we also assess, not at the regional level, but more at the country level, of course, the strength, of which we heard many, but also some of the opportunities for improvement. What, in your view, for Lagos, but also for Nigeria, are the things that are to be improved slightly for the future?
I think an opportunity for us is to strengthen the coordination between the different innovation nodes in the value chain. So from when an idea is had, how quickly can a creator and an innovator get access to the equipment and the infrastructure to turn that idea into reality in the shortest amount of time? I think that's an opportunity, and that's an opportunity that we are taking very seriously in Lagos.
So where do you see Lagos and Nigeria in 10 years, also in this more globalized innovation ecosystem that you've described?
Absolutely. I see Lagos and Nigeria by extension as a talent hub. And so the idea is that if you're looking for 10 software developers, you would be remiss if you did not look at Lagos, if you did not look at Nigeria. I think that will be a key factor for Nigeria in the coming years. Nigeria as a talent hub for different skills, servicing global companies, servicing global startups, servicing many, many talent needs across the globe. And of course, in 10 years, we believe that Nigeria would become a creator economy. And so not just an adoption or an adaptive economy, but a creator economy. That's why we're investing quite a bit in R&D and the talent that drives R&D. So a lot of new businesses, new pots of value would be created within this market. And that's where we see ourselves in 10 years, delivering both talent, goods and services to the global markets.
Excellent. Yeah, I look forward to witnessing this myself. Thank you, Mr. Alake. So we're at the end of our short interview. I'm sure that all our listeners will find it highly inspiring to see how your regional innovation ecosystem in Lagos is really driving innovation in Nigeria, but also Africa more broadly. So thank you very much for this.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks everyone for joining us for this discussion. I hope you have gained valuable insights into the innovation journey of Lagos in Nigeria. We hope it serves as important inspiration to all policymakers driving in regional and local innovation systems at the city level worldwide. See you soon.
Welcome back everyone to WIPO's Mission Imagination. Today we will be talking about how young people are changing the world through innovation. Youth today are more globally connected and informed than ever before, and can play a crucial role in transforming innovation by bringing fresh perspectives, energy, and creativity to the table. And WIPO's Global Innovation Index also shows that economies transforming the global innovation landscape are all young, with an average age of 31. It is my honor to introduce our guest for today, Gitanjali Rao. Gitanjali made her first invention in 2017 at the age of 12. Today, at 18, she has several other inventions, all of which focus on solving social challenges and creating change. Gitanjali has an impressive record of awards and achievements, including being named Times Magazine First Ever Kid of the Year in 2020. Gitanjali, welcome to Mission Imagination.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I want to have just an open discussion about your trajectory. And I want to first start by asking you what made you interested in, inventing and innovating overall?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for that incredible introduction. And it is such an honor to be here and share my story and hopefully inspire a couple people along the way. I can't necessarily say there was one specific moment that got me into innovation and invention. I think it was the growing idea that I realized the potential of the science field. My uncle got me a science kit when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I started playing with that. But what I, slowly wanted to do more and more of was not just do the experiments in the kit, build my own, right? Start looking at how I'm going to solve problems. And I've always been one who used to say my passion was putting a smile on other people's faces. And so slowly combining the two, I started looking at the world from more of a scientific approach, right? Utilizing scientific solutions and ideas and technologies to solve some of the biggest problems that we see today. So every time I see a problem on the news or something that I personally connect to, I start to look at how is a scientific way to solve this. And so that slowly started becoming second nature, and I started realizing the true potential that science has. And I hope that a lot of other students start to recognize that as well.
And as you say, you're focusing mostly on solving very concrete challenges. Can you name what is your favorite one? Which one is the one that you think has created the most impact?
I'm most known for my device called Tethys, which helps to detect for lead in drinking water faster and cheaper than current tools. It's based on carbon nanotube sensor technology, and it sends all the data to your mobile phone so that you can read it on an app that I built. And as of right now, actually as of the past couple of years, it's a patented device, which I'm very proud and excited to say. And along with that, I'm hoping to start field testing in places like Flint, Michigan fairly soon. But the exciting thing about Teth is it truly did start as a prototype and this very, very broad idea that I had, because I thought it was unfair that there were so many kids in places like Flint, Michigan who were drinking a poison every single day just because they wanted to drink water, which should be a basic necessity and a basic right. And if you don't have clean water to drink, you can't even think of anything else beyond that. And so I wanted to focus on that idea of clean drinking water. And I think I got pretty far with that one as well. But I'm proud of all my devices in their own way, but I think that's the one that's most known.
That's amazing. It's very impressive.
Thank you.
So let's talk about, for a few minutes, this accessibility issue, because if I understood well, you have open sourced a lot of your ideas. So you're making them accessible to society at large. What is your motivation behind this?
I've never been one to gatekeep, especially when it comes to programming or any sort of code that I have or any sort of process or technology. I think a big part of it is that the best ideas aren't built from scratch. They're built off of other people's ideas, right? And I feel like at the end of the day, the ideas that I were building were just put together, different components put together in ways that nobody has seen before. And my goal is to drive innovation forward, right? To encourage students to want to innovate. And that means not scaring them and instead motivating them, right? Showing them what already exists. And that's a big part of why I open source things, right? I'm a big believer that I don't want to lock down on one specific project because I'm a kid. I have the time to learn. I have the time to explore. I have the time to grow. The second you spin it into an organization, it tends to turn into the money instead of about the impact and the solution and the idea of building. And then on top of that, I want to encourage other students to realize that they can do it too, right? They can use my code, improve upon it, add more features to it. That's what innovation should be, an opportunity for students to work together and grow. Because over the years, innovation has turned into a pretty competitive thing, and I want to bring back that collaborative nature that it's supposed to be.
Amazing. And what about the message that you want to give to other young people, the ones that are interested, they don't know how to do it? What do you suggest? What is your advice?
My biggest piece of advice for those who are young and like starting within that first step, my biggest thing is take risks, right? No matter the reward, take the risk. I think the reason I'm here and the reason I've had the power to do everything that I've had the opportunity to do is because I am a student, right? Do things and mess up when it doesn't matter versus when it does, right? So take the time to just try new things, build new things, come up with new ideas, because the only person stopping you is yourself. I guarantee you that.
So why don't we discuss about the role that, or the advice you could give actually governments or, the decision makers in the world. How could they make things easier for youth to be more innovative and make transformation and change?
Well, first of all, I feel like I want to preface this by saying I have complete faith in our government, across the world, regardless, to kind of recognize what's best for youth and what's best for science and carry forward with that. And as an 18-year-old who is now recently has the power to vote, I hope that the world tends to stand on the side of science, right? And looking at what's important and how we're keeping people safe and how we're moving forward as a community. But I think the big thing is I've been to multiple conferences, whether it's within the United Nations or other worldwide conferences, to look at the involvement of youth, right? And the biggest thing that you hear at these conferences over and over again is that youth need a seat at the table. Kids need a seat at the table. But my biggest thing is there's no point in having a seat at that table if that seat is not listened to, if their ideas are not taken into consideration, right? And so I think the big thing that I would like to see in these next couple of years is students' ideas and passions and solutions being taken just as seriously as any other adults, right? Just because we're younger doesn't mean we have a lack of knowledge. There might be a lack of experience, but that doesn't mean we haven't lived it firsthand. Our generation is experiencing problems that have never been seen before, right? And innovation isn't an option in today's day and age, it's a necessity. And we need to take that on, and we need to look at ways that we can solve problems in our community. And so the second we have the opportunity to work in a lab or do an internship or work on research, the second those opportunities are given to us, or someone even responds to my email and say, yeah, come tour it one day, or yeah, come work with me, or yes, let me answer your question, any student is going to jump on that. So take the time to say yes, right? try things out and encourage the students that need it the most.
I like that. Innovation is really a necessity these days. I understand you're now studying at MIT. So
I am, yeah.
What are you up to? What are your plans? What are you studying?
Yeah, so I'm a freshman right now at MIT at my spring semester. Right now, I'm thinking of majoring in bioengineering and potentially minoring in innovation and entrepreneurship. But still have a year or so to declare my major, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's very nice. We'll keep an eye on you. I'm sure you will have a very successful career and future, and we'll keep definitely following you. So thanks a lot for your time. Is there anything else you want to say to our audience?
I mean, the big thing is keep innovating and stay longer with the problem. That's my favorite quote by Albert Einstein. It's not that I'm smart, it's just that I stay longer with the problem. So keep that in mind.
Thanks a lot, Gitanjali.
Of course, thanks for having me.
And thanks everyone for joining us. Remember, innovation knows no age. And Gitanjali has shown us that each of us have the potential to make a meaningful impact. Subscribe to our channel to get notifications of other interesting interviews and leave any comments and feedback just below.
Okay, that's it for today's episode. We close it here. That was a great review of the World Intellectual Property Global Innovation Index. So, looking at the top 10 innovative economies in the world, Switzerland being the first, Sweden second, United States of America third. So we end this episode here. Let me go on my page and see. We end this episode here. We're looking forward to see you guys next week with another episode of the Tom Tombekai Unplugged podcast. See you next Saturday, guys. See you Saturday. Bye. We end this podcast. Yeah.